Hello, this is Selin. I would like to say some words about how we test Eureka application. And this is our GitHub repository, and we are on the wiki page. You can see all project documents. You can find all the project documents in the wiki page here. Now we have project document, planning, design documents, now testing. I'm going to talk about the testing documents. We have test plan, test strategy, automated testing, for some explanation, and test cases, test reporting. Let's take a look at the test plan first. Test plan is a document that explains what are we going to test for that particular application. It says that the requirements for test. What are we going to test? And the database integrity testing, functional testing. We are going to do user interface testing, security testing, and we decided not to do stress testing, and installation testing is not required because it's a web-based application that you can access using one of the browser providers. Internet providers. Yes, and the second document is test strategy. Test strategy is a document which says us how we are going to test the application. In the test plan, we said, okay, what we are going to test, we are going to do functional testing. Then, how we are going to do that functional testing? For example, here we see some more specific information that all we are explaining that. And okay, we need to test project requirements, and all the function testing they based on they should be verified with the expected results with the valid data, and if there are error or warning messages should be shown when inappropriate data is used. And for the user interface testing, we are going to do test automation for user interface testing. Actually, we're explaining in the next steps in the next documents. And the security testing we are going to do authentication and searching insecure data in application, this kind of stuff. Okay, let's take a look at the automated testing. And firstly, we said here that what types of software testing to perform. And we are using two approaches here. One of them is data-driven testing, and the other is behavior-driven development. What is data-driven testing? Executing same scenario multiple times for different data sets. What we gain with the data-driven testing is that we can use the same scenario for multiple times, which means that it saves time, code maintenance, easy to use, and yeah, behavior-driven development. It's I'm just going to read this. Collaboration between business stakeholders, business analysts, QA team, and developers. Tests should be automated using in plain, meaningful English text, using a simple grammar defined by a language called Gherkin. I'll explain what I'm saying when I call it Gherkin. Gherkin is actually I can show it from here. Gherkin is a format that we define our test cases in a particular template. For example, this is a scenario outline. We have these tags, and we are using those tags to make it clear to everyone can understand with this format. Let's take a look at it. A scenario outline, we are going to write the scenario description here. When we said given, and then we firstly we need to take for example, given the web browser, when web browser is opened. When I enter the website, when I write the URL to domain, to the URL, then I need to see the website open. It can be opened successfully. Yes, it's something like that. We are going to take a look at our test cases more. later. But let's what test cases to automate. Then we decided to automate the repetitive tests that run for multiple builds, and which means usually those are our smoke tests and regression tests that we expect in every build we expect those tests should pass, and tests that require multiple data sets. So they are not. It's not logical to test them manually. So we put those tests in the automated tests. What tools we are using? First, we are using Selenium, of course. Selenium, I can talk about quickly. Selenium is a tool that helps to automate web-based and mobile application testing, and we are using Selenium WebDriver for our project. And the other tool we are using is Cucumber, which supports a behavior-driven development that we can. Cucumber is helping us to writing Gherkin formats and execute our test. Then everyone can understand in the team, in the non-technical people, and the business analysis, everyone in the company, everyone in the organization that you're working with, they can understand easily because it's a plain text English. Then everyone can write tests with this using this tool. Yes. That was Cucumber, and we are using Java for a test project, by the way, and JUnit for it. It helps. We are using JUnit's annotations, reporting. I'm going to talk about the reporting later. And now we are testing we are using our tests in the Chrome driver because Chrome is one of the most used browsers. So we are doing all tests on the Chrome. Yes, and this is the test project path. Then we can access the test from here. I'm going to show here, and running the automated there, it is pretty easy because it's a Maven project. It's a POM XML file, so you just need to go to that direction, and when you say Maven test, all the tests are going to run. Okay, then I'll take a. Let's see what we have in test cases. Actually, I would like to show you how we use those scenarios. And let's take a closer look. The previous one, it's like a template, but this one is like exact scenario that we are using in our tests. Yes, we are testing that feature. The feature is Eureka login. Eureka is our application. Yes, scenario outline. This is our first scenario, a Eureka login with valid credentials. Now we are testing login. Given I am on Eureka website, now we enter the Eureka website. When I already have an account, should be I here, when I already have an account, and it's just a keyword that extension of when, then yes, given, you can say given when, and then you can say it like this, because if you are this is the precondition, and this is the action, this is the expected result. Actually it should be formatted like that, but you can use more and then in your test. This is a Gherkin. When I enter username as, okay, when I'm writing here some parameters as disappeared here, it should be here username, and enter password as it gets this parameter, and click button, then I should be able to log in successfully and see. This is all our test case, and when we run this test, it's going to be executed, and this test, and I mean this part of test, is going to execute 2 times. and for the first user and for the second user. Yeah, okay, this is a test case, and this is a test reporting page. Okay, let's take a look to our test project. Okay, this is a test project. What I was talking about in the GitHub here, and this is our feature file. And Cucumber allows us to write feature files. That it's a, as you can see here, it's a plain text that's it's really easy to use, easy to understand. Yeah, it's perfect. Yes, when I enter, we couldn't see in the GitHub page, but we can see here. And I enter username as username. It gets the first user from here, and the test is going to run. This test case is going to run for the first user for the first line once, and for the second line once again. And this is our second scenario. Eureka login with invalid credentials. Then why I write different, because this is a different test case, this should be tested with the different data sets. So those are the my invalid users, that because I'm using those for data sets. Actually, you can, and I'm verifying here. Then is what we said about them. Then is a verification of test case. So here it says that I should not be able to log in successfully. So it checks this, and I'm going to show a little bit about the structure of how we do it. Now, these tests are reading the steps. How we execute? Let's take a look at this one first. Yes, how we execute this test. And we have a test running class, and we are using Cucumber options. This is the place that we are getting help from Cucumber, and this is the feature files. This features is a folder name where you put your feature files. Our feature files are defined here. What was the feature file? We just recently took a look at. We are writing our test cases in a Gherkin format in a feature file. Then step definitions, and glue is a keyword that you're finding your step definitions. Step definitions are here, and this is the place where we are going to write our test cases. I mean, what our test cases to turn to code. Let's take a look here. I structured this test in a modular. It has a modular design that you can call. I'm calling here just. I have a page object. I'm using page objects as well, and yes, design pattern is page object, and also it's designed like modular. So I'm calling all the page. Enter username here. As you can see here, we created this format. Let's take a deeper look to this one. And given, when we said given, when, and, we see that we have the same here. And I said when I enter username as, this is a regular expression that gets the parameter from the feature file. Then I need to give a parameter from here. So I said, okay, enter username, enter password, login button. Then I said I should be able to log in successfully. So I assert that it is not null value, and for something that I don't expect to see. Yes, this is a login test, and also we have a history test that checks that all the items can be listed, and it checks for the two different users. So let's run our test and see how are they going to be like. Okay. Now our tests are started running. Let's open it. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. Yes, it's testing, execute the first scenario, now it's executing the first scenario, the second data set, and now it is doing the wrong invalid credential scenario, and now it does the second scenario for listing items, and for the other second user for the listing items it is going to be executed. Yes. Now we see that, and we see that all tests are passed. How we understand it? Let's take a look at the test reports. And we can see clearly from the console output here, it's like 36 steps and 6 scenarios are executed. As you can see here, it's really efficient that we have 6 scenarios and 36 steps are executed, 36 pass. So this is one of the most efficient ways that you can write your tests. And let's take a look at the reports. Test runners that we didn't talk about that plugin tag. That plugin tag helps us to helps us to define which format are we going to use for the test reporting. And I wrote some different examples here. Let's take a look at the HTML report. I'll take this to. I can open this one directly, I think. Let's do it like this. Yes, yes, we are seeing here now, and this is the scenario, what we defined in our tests, and this report, we are seeing this green because these tests are passed. And it also took a screenshot, and you can see clearly here what data did you use, what you didn't use, and you can read. For example, it's invalid credential test, and you can see that your both access that was invalid credentials users, and we see that okay they couldn't log in, and yeah, that's it. All the tests are passed. Let's do something different. Let's do something different, and let's take a look. What happens if test fails? Okay, then I am changing this, deleting 2 lines. Then username is going to be wrong. Then let's run the test again and see how it's going to be. Okay, test is started. Now it opened the Chrome driver. Actually, you can run your test in Firefox and Safari on different browsers. It's totally up to you and your business objectives. That's which browsers do you want to support. But we select the Chrome browser, and our tests are running on the Chrome browser. Yes. We can see the progress here, and 2 failed, 1 ignored. Yes. I think tests are finished now. Then let's open one more Chrome and do the same thing again. Index HTML, put it here. Yeah. And now we see the test failure. All the other tests are passed, but one test is failed because we see the expected condition was this, but we couldn't find that. The test couldn't find the username as well. Yes, basically for that. So as you can see here, test reporting is also very clear. Too many like a plain text, and you can see your code here. It's pretty easy to use, easy to understand. Um, yes, I put a example sample test report which is passing. Maybe I can add the failed one as well. Yes, and this is basically how we are testing the Eureka application. Thank you for listening me. Bye bye.